What I felt the minute that I tapped into the collective was like disappointment, but also the energy of always being on edge. Imagine being around someone who constantly either nags at you or gets really, really angry for small things, or maybe they just have an explosive, an explosive anger or temper. It feels like fight, flight, or freeze has just sat in someone's chest for an extremely long time. Why do I feel like this is not present energy? This is energy from the past. This is a past version, maybe of yourself or someone that you know, that is wanting to be addressed or wanting to be seen. Because I think that many people who watch this channel do not look like what they have been through. And because they don't look like what they've been through, we sometimes forget. We forget the things that we've been through. Like, we do not give ourselves enough credit for how strong, how brave, how sometimes you have had to be hyper independent. This energy coming through is of a time when it was survival mode. It was absolute survival mode. And there's a sadness that comes with it. This is very heart-based. This is a heart wound, and maybe even an identity of your own heart from when you were younger. We have copycat coming through. We have the copycat being in reverse. There's something that was always very individualist about you. Something that was always very different. And I don't know if that is to do with the way that you look, the way that you speak, or it's just your energy. Your energy has always been different, and it may have been what set you apart from people, but may have also made you a target. We do also have getting played, manipulation, lies, and control. So there's a specific person or people, and I heard the word and I saw it, pattern. So there's a pattern of behavior that stems from a specific person and how they may have treated you when you were younger, be that family, be that a romantic partner, whoever it was. It's their actions, their words specifically, and I just saw the word pathetic. So I don't know if they made someone feel small or pathetic, or if they said that to you. This may have like actually carved a scar onto someone's heart that was then used as almost like a foundation for what relationships should be. And I feel like this is way before you realised that that was a wound. Why are we being shown this? Because we've got getting played, manipulation, lies, and control coming out here. And the other card that kept showing itself to me was envy. So you had someone that was very envious of your light, very envious of your authenticity. Because do you know what? To be authentic in a world where we are pushed to look the same, where we're pushed to either be this muscly or this strong or this petite and not have spots and not have cellulite, it's actually a rarity to be authentic, to push against the grain or go against the grain, not to look like everyone else, not to act like everyone else. That's freedom. That's actual freedom. So it feels like maybe you were a caged bird. You already knew who you were when you were young, and someone here didn't like you being like that. And I don't know why. We do have emotional intelligence in reverse. They may have lacked emotional intelligence. We have keeping a promise in reverse as well. So there is the energy of disappointment, and that's what came through right at the beginning. That energy of being let down, that energy of having to do it yourself. Yeah, let's tap into that. Let's see why Spirit's bringing this up. Okay, let me just pop you there for a second, and let's get out a couple more cards. So we do have love story coming out here with Once Upon a Time. I don't know. Let's see. I hope everyone's doing well. My name is Bronwen. This is Bronwen's Cove Tarot 111. If you're new to my channel, welcome in. It's really good to have you here. If you are a returning subscriber, soul family, it's always good to have you back. Actually, I'm going to ring my bell now. It's just to cleanse the space around us for all of us. If you have any sound sensitivity issues, please turn down your listening device in 3, 2, and in 1. Okay, so what I got from that, even just ringing the bell, is that boundaries may have been non-existent, or boundaries may have been misunderstood, or you may have been frightened to have boundaries when you were younger, because the ringing of that bell, that it was very meek, it was very quiet. It was like, I want to take up space, but I'm worried that if I take up space, I will be seen. Okay. Yeah, there's a lot of sadness coming through here. Tell us what we need to know about this. Thank you. Trash is coming out here. Throwing away, getting rid of, and tossing out. But it's in reverse. It feels like something stayed. And I don't mean like in like a scary way, like, oh my gosh, there's something that touched you. It's more to do with this carving of a scar on your heart. Come see, come see, come and look, come and see. I feel like there's a major transformation happening for someone here. I feel like the collective of those who watch this channel have been through so many transformations, more than other people. More than other people. Yeah, look, you've got toxic coming out here with trash on the side here. It feels like the fact that love story keeps coming out. There is somebody here who may have wounded you very badly, or wounded someone within the collective very badly, and it feels like this person may wish to just come back in again. I don't know how to explain it, except for before I started doing this reading, I did a cord removal with Archangel Michael, and I did it with like Reiki and music and stuff like that, and I felt instantly sick, like from my stomach, solar plexus. And I thought that's very interesting, because your solar plexus is your place of boundaries, personal joy. It's where your inner child lives, both wounded and wondrous. The fact that that felt sick, and then I felt really better afterwards. So that something was removed there. And I obviously felt the need to share it, because this may be so for someone else here. You may need to do a cord removal. There is definitely a need to be looking at the heart chakra, maybe the solar plexus as well for someone here, when it comes to things that make you unwell, that are connected to a memory. We have toxic coming out. Okay. It feels also like, and I felt this when I first tapped in, that energy of like, when you're a kid, and let's say there's arguing in the house, or it's absolute silence in the house, because you could have been brought up in a loud house or a quiet house. I was brought up in a quiet house. No one talked to anyone. No one communicated. And it was avoidant. The energy coming through is the energy of, this is just going to continue. No matter what type of household that you grew up in, imagine being a child and it's just so rocky and you never know what's going to happen next, but you know that something's going to happen, and it's going to happen every day until you get old enough that you can leave. That's the energy that I'm getting here. Someone feeling unsafe. Someone feeling unsafe, and feeling unsafe not because you are different or because you were different, but being different, being unique, not kind of like blending in with the crowd, could have made it worse for you, even though it shouldn't have. Okay, let's have a look. One or two? This one. Somebody was very malicious or cruel. Somebody was very jealous of your light, or just how innocent you were or naive you were to pain. Somebody didn't like that you messed up the status quo of something here. You outshone them without realizing. Ashamed, guilt, embarrassed, in the wrong. And then you have shady here, trying to make someone feel like they are in the wrong for being themselves. I'm really sorry that happened to you, if this resonates for you. Tell me about copycat, please. Tell me about copycat. We've got side hustle. We've also got shocking news. And shady, it feels like this isn't a shock to anyone. This may be actually reminding you of a specific person. Why am I getting like in your family or in your peer group? Someone was a bully, someone was abusive. I'm going to put shocking news down over here. Then we have side hustle here. Yeah, getting used. It feels like this person may have used you for their own benefit. I don't know if that was like energy wise or if that was actual money wise, like if they were taking things from you, because I feel now like I'm being flipped from the past into the recent past. So rather than childhood past, we're now in the last couple of years maybe, or the last 5 years, 7 years, of someone who had the same qualities as a family member or peer, manipulating and pulling on those heartstrings, pulling on that wound. I heard mother wound for someone here. Tell me about keeping a promise in reverse. I heard it's coming to an end. This cycle is coming to an end. All of a sudden I feel really, really tired, like really exhausted. Someone may have been carrying this for a very long time. Yeah, because we've got moving on, letting go and loving you with 3. It feels like there is an ex here, an ex-best friend, an ex-someone that is not, they don't want to let go of your energy. You may need to do a cord removal. There may be a need to do so, just like I did. Oh my goodness, look what came out. Crazy ex, obsessed, won't let go, and psycho. I'm going to put that one down. Turning your back, off and on, hot and cold, detached and ghosted came out underneath as well. I feel like Spirit wants you to see this because they want you to be able, like Spirit, your team of highest light and resonance, your angels, they want you to be able to completely and utterly cut this person off. Even if you haven't spoken to this person in years, energetically they're reaching out. And the reason why they're reaching out is because there is still a scar on someone's heart here. And it's not saying that if you don't do the healing, this person will always be attached to you. Just that it feels like someone is carrying something here that just makes them more susceptible or open to the energy of the past wanting to attach, wanting to come in. Tell me about this toxic energy. Oh, I'm hearing Billy Joel. Is it Billy Joel? Billy. In the middle of the night, I go walking in my sleep to the valley of to the river so deep. I absolutely love that song. There is something here about being cleansed, being washed, being absolved of something here. We do have fed up coming out. Okay. I think also you're being told to kind of connect with your emotions, like in bodily awareness of how you feel when you think of that specific person from your family when you were young, or from your peer group that hurt you or created trauma or bullied or abused you, and then about who it could be that kind of gives the similar anxiety or the similar energy that you feel in your chest, that fight, flight or freeze, because there is a need for someone here to see the pattern and to be able to break the pattern completely. I don't know why, but my guide said the knot tying therapy, they said, but it's the knot tying ceremony, which is where it's an old Egyptian. They used to do it in ancient Egypt, and they still do it now, where you take a piece of twine and you tie, or string as long as it's thick enough, you tie a knot for the last time that you felt a specific way. And in this case it seems to be to do with safety, feeling safe or feeling unsafe. When was the last time you felt like that? What happened? Where were you? Speak it into existence so that you can acknowledge it, you can recognize it, and you can let it go. Then tie another knot for the time before that. Was that the day before, a week before, a month before, a year before? And you know, in your own time you can do it. I remember I've done it once, and I did that a couple of years ago, and I did it within a 3-hour slot because the Aries moon in me just wanted to get it done. But it was the most cathartic thing. I cried, I spoke out loud, I realized things, and I saw where the pattern was coming from, because it goes all, you keep doing it and you get till you get all the way back to childhood, the first time that you can recollect feeling unsafe. Because once you can name it, once you can see it, it's a lot easier to work through, right? Because I do feel like something within the heart, this is in the shadow, this has been repressed. This has literally been repressed. And I don't say that with any judgment whatsoever, but there is an encouragement here for someone to do a knot tying ceremony, because once you get back to the first time you remember doing that, you burn it. Fire safety first, outside of the house, but you burn it to yourself, to your higher self, to your inner child, to your angels, to God, to whoever you want. And you can do it as many times as you need, as it's a way of almost like self-discovery. And I feel like someone here may need that. Okay, let me put these down. Where would you like me to go, please and thank you? Here, okay. Tell me about this originality, having original thought, being seen as different. What is this about being seen as different? You have the 5 of Cups. I honestly feel like part of the wound that hasn't been healed yet has to do with, it may be imposter syndrome. I'm getting slightly imposter syndrome. It's almost like I don't belong, because good things are coming to the collective. But I feel like people don't believe that those things are coming. It's like, I'll believe that when I see it. But isn't faith all about the stuff that we believe before we see? You know, the 5 of Cups coming out here. Those 3 cups on the floor. And it's not crying over spilt milk. There's something here about a relationship. And I don't even know if this is a relationship with someone else. It may just be a relationship with self. I just heard come find me, or find me, and I was shown like a younger version of myself, like when I was like 14 with big bushy eyebrows and long garish hair. There's an inner part of yourself, an inner teen, an inner child that is asking you to connect with them, and not just the solar plexus but the heart space. The heart space, definitely. Something's definitely wrapped up in the heart space. And the thing is, I know that sometimes my readings can be very, very pinpoint. They can pinpoint details, and sometimes they can't, because things like this, our childhoods are all going to be different. I mean, they're going to be laced with brightness and with shadow. We all have trauma to a certain degree, okay, and all of it is as valued as the next. I may not be able to pick up exactly on what it is that you have to heal, but it definitely has to do with your inner child. It definitely has to do with your relationship to self and your authenticity. Being able to be comfortable with being different. Look, you got the 4 of Cups coming out in reverse, because it feels like something in the past with certain people, like wanting either the value from these people or wanting them to allow you to belong, may have like sidestepped your ability to set boundaries or to take up space in that relationship, be it platonic or romantic. The 4 of Cups coming out in reverse is things that we see. It's things that we accept. I was watching a video today with somebody who reads body language, and they were talking about the relationship between Lily Allen and her now ex-husband, the guy who plays Hopper from Stranger Things. And they were showing videos of like them going through their house, showing their house, and how you can see that they're miles apart from each other. This is before we knew they were getting divorced. And the entire video, the guy who's like reading the behavior says they don't even touch. They do not touch. In the entire 20-30 minute video, they do not touch. They do not stand next to each other. They both have their arms crossed. And the reason that came up is because there was something about, like, that house was really lavish. It was really lovely, really lavish. But you could see how uncomfortable Lily Allen was the entire way through. And, you know, some people were just assuming, because we don't know if it's fact, that she didn't actually want that house. She did it to appease him because he wanted that house. She didn't want to take on that amount of, you know, mortgage and so on and so forth. And it feels like the same thing may have happened to someone here in the past. It's not so much about whether it was a house or a car or moving in together or something like that. It feels like your needs weren't met in some way and you were overgiving. It's like you were the one that was the supporting role. You were the one that was helping and nurturing and taking care of, you know, taking care of that person, but that person wasn't doing the same thing to you. Like, they were more interested in money. Whew. Let's got some intense energy. Tell me about moving on. Why is it in reverse? Yeah, we've got lovers coming out in reverse. This one's pretty blatant. This is an ex. And I'm hearing, it's like Blackstreet. Although we've come to the end of the road. Is that Boys to Men, Blackstreet, or Jodeci? Because I always get them mixed up, but I listened to all of those when I was a kid. Still I can't let go. It's so natural. You belong to me. I belong to you. Okay, tell me about this crazy ex, please. With the trash that won't go out. The trash that won't take itself out. Okay, so we do have the 6 of Swords coming out. We also have the 8 of Cups coming out. 6 of Cups in reverse. This is being stuck in some sort of drama, some sort of turmoil. Because before the 6 of Swords, obviously, is the 5 of Swords, which looks at conflict. It looks at accusations. It looks at arguments. It feels like something within yourself needs to be healed, and they say that very gently, and I always say that without judgment. Something needs to be addressed or healed to ensure that this person's energy does not trail behind yours, like as you are on a higher timeline, them trying to pull you back onto a lower one. We also have the 8 of Cups coming out in reverse. This is continuous. There's a continuous energy of being fed up or being around this toxicity. Yeah, someone's tired of the same drama happening over and over when it comes to this person that's no longer in their life but trying to cause trouble. Okay, but I think the reason Spirit has drawn this message out is because if there's more to it than what meets the eye. This is not just about your ex. This is about you, your healing journey, and how much attention you give your inner child. When was the last time you went on swings? Doesn't matter how old you are. When was the last time that you went in the forest and collected pretty looking stones and twigs? When was the last time that you went swimming? When was the last time that you painted or, you know, drew chalk on the sidewalk? There's something here with encouraging you to find play again. Because the thing is, look, our inner child and healing our inner child can be all of this really intense kind of, you know, loving that child and being so gentle and softly, but it can also be fun. It can also be you taking the hand of the wondrous part of your inner child and being curious about your environment. Like I live in London. I have all of these museums around me, and the only time that I went was the last time that my other half was over, back in May. I literally should be taking this advice as well. I could be going to all these different museums and art places and stuff like that. And I feel like, yeah, look, you have the sword, the Ace of Swords, and you have the Hermit. A message about hiding or going within. Tell about the 5 of Cups, please, when it comes to this authenticity. Thank you. Death is coming out here. Yeah, someone still holds on to this. Someone's definitely still holding on to this. And I feel like something to do with your identity, something to do with being authentic and not caring what other people think of you. If you want to wear bright eyeshadow, or you want to dye your beard that color, or whatever that may be, there's an encouragement here to do it. Just do it. Because we find so many excuses why we can't, rather than looking for the solutions of why we can. The sun coming out in reverse, the lack of growth. Okay, so there's a need to recognize some choices that you made in the past when it comes to relationships that you have chosen, that you saw the red flags and you ignored it anyway. And I think it can be difficult to be quite self-critical in a loving way, but you're being asked to do so. There's a need here to balance between taking accountability and kind of looking at those harder truths and harder bits, and also finding play so that you can balance those out without feeling guilty for just being. Tell me about lovers, please. We have the Magician in reverse. Okay. This person doesn't have anything to give you. This person hasn't got anything to offer you that they couldn't offer you before. And for someone here, it could have been an abusive relationship. Some relationships can be physically abusive. They can be verbally abusive. They can be emotionally abusive. They can be spiritually abusive. And it's, you know, only you're going to know this. And like a little snippet from my own life, my ex was emotionally abusive. I did not realize that that was happening until I left, and I looked at the relationship that I had with my mother and with my older sister, and there was a lot of similarities in the patterning and conditioning of me not having boundaries, me having to act in a certain way, you know, be older than you're supposed to be and be a caretaker for certain family members. And if you don't, then you're name called, or you're this, or you're emotionally kind of, what's the word? Emotionally manipulated, to made to feel like you're less than. And then that falls over into relationships. So there's a need for someone here to have like a really genuine conversation with themselves and their inner child, to see where they are when it comes to their healing. What parts have you been avoiding? Not because you should be having a go at yourself or shaming yourself, but just, why have I not looked at this? What is it that I'm scared I'm going to find if I look into that part of my shadow or onto that scar on my heart? Because the cycle, the end is coming. The end, and I don't mean like the end is coming like the world is going to end, but I mean like the cycle, this cycle is coming to the end. If we are like the maiden, mother and crone, right now we are in the crone era. Okay, and the crone is very, very wise because she's had so much time to experience different situations and to learn from them. I feel like those energies are coming through. So it may be that, you know, you may be getting messages from your grandparents. You may be getting, you know, you may be pulled more towards gods or goddesses, if you are pagan or open to that, that are more, they look more at the cycle of life and death. So you could be looking at Lilith. You could be looking at Persephone. There's definitely a need here to be gentle with yourself as you're doing this, and to find fun in it. Find ways to bring back light into a part of yourself that may have been covered in darkness for a while. We have the Emperor coming out here. Okay, some sort of business. Okay, so you have an ex here that may wish to offer you some sort of business venture. And it may seem very tempting, but you're being reminded of that family member or peer from when you were younger that manipulated you and controlled you for some sort of side hustle here. And you saw the red flag, but you just thought, you doubted yourself. You kind of like second guessed yourself. And this offer coming forward, if this has anything to do with an ex, whether it's an abusive one or not, you're being told to remember how you felt with this person over here, and to kind of read yourself and see whether or not you're getting the same reaction. Okay, you've got the High Priestess coming out here as well. I'm going to put that one down as the last card. You have someone here though from like your past, family member or peer or whoever, that doesn't like that you are a high priestess now. Or there are certain people from your past that do not like how intuitive you are, but you're being told to kind of trust yourself. Do not allow the wound from the past to kind of like muddy your judgment on certain choices that you have to make going forward, whether it's to do with an ex, whether it's to do with a job, whether it's to do with family members wanting to come forward. There's a need to trust yourself here. I'm going to close up this reading with the tea leaf oracle and just see what wants to come through. A chain of events that will affect your life. So let's see what these chain of events are. Tell us about this. Oh wow, problems to be resolved, and it threw itself exactly where I wanted it to go. Ink pot, problems to be resolved over here. Tell me about the sun with getting played. Older woman, dealings or relationship with an older woman. So like I said, this could be a mother wound, it could be a sister auntie wound, or it could just be a divine feminine wound that you're being asked to look at. Can I get one for the magician? Oh my goodness, here we go. We have marriage coming through. Okay, you may be getting a proposal from an old flame. Can we get the Emperor, please? Thank you. Celebration, fun and enjoyment is coming through. And you also have deep personal strength and peace that assures success is coming through as well. I'm going to leave it there. I really hope this has given you the confirmation and clarity that you needed, that you already intuitively knew. If you are new to my channel and this resonated and you'd like to see more of my content and when I post, I would love for you to hit on the like, the subscribe and on the notification bell so you can see exactly that. If you are a returning subscriber, soul family, as always, I love you guys. Kisses, stay safe, stay awesome. I will see you in the next one. Bye.